What up, my dudes? It's me, Johnny. I'm here in the local mall here, having a coffee. There's another view from where I'm at. I don't know if you can see it, but there's the lunar moon. Blaze, it's the Lunar New Year here. Well, it will be in about a week, I think. Anyhow, just making a video. Not much is going on. Just watching the people go by. Pretty interesting. Wasn't quite expecting this. About this time of year in Guatemala right now, they have the Easter going on. Well, now that's passed, but normally when I'm in Latin America, I don't like to be in Mexico or Guatemala during Easter, and even the Philippines, because of all the it's just really busy. And now that COVID is over, there's just a lot of traffic. As a matter of fact, if you watch a lot of the videos on just travel in general, apparently there's a 2-month backup if you're an American and you want to get your passport renewed, or if you want to get a new passport. I don't know what that is, but for people who already have a passport and they want to renew it, apparently in Thailand and Philippines, it's at least a 2-month wait, or at least that's what video vloggers are saying, if they take it down to the embassy. But what's kind of cool, excuse me, what's kind of cool is because there's so much demand now, at least as far as I know in the Philippines, I think in Thailand too, they have a system now where you just can send your paperwork. You just go online, fill out the paperwork, and then you just send them your passport and the paperwork wherever you are in the country, and give them your address, of course, and then they send it back when it's done. No, you couldn't do that in you could do that in Guatemala. There is no postal service, but there is private services you could use. As I recall, yeah, people were doing that. Anyways, not much is going on here. It's a Wednesday, second day of the trading week. Not too much is going on in the markets. Gold is sticking above $2,000 an ounce. Got up to 220. I think now it's at 212. Most of the tech stocks I own, I'm shorting. They're down, so they're in profit. But it's really frustrating watching these markets. They're just going up, down, up, down, up, down. The only thing really breaking down to the downside is the banks, the REITs. I was shorting banks and REITs, home builders, a lot of retail. Most of that stuff is in profit. I can't complain really, but I was just been hoping for more of a crash. But get what you get. Some of my favorite gold miners are up quite a bit. There's one in it's Caledonia Mining, which is in not South Africa. It's in Zimbabwe. Their mines are in Zimbabwe, and it's really, I think it's at an all-time high or very close. It's really outperformed the market, so I've been pretty happy. Only thing I didn't like was towards a couple weeks ago they issued some shares right into a bull market, which pissed me off. So they were down 10%, so I bought more, but I should have bought way more. They're already now back up to their all-time high. It's pretty hot here. Pretty hot. Takes some getting used to. Now, I'll just put the camera there now. Not much is really going on today. I think they're getting ready to fix up all the stuff for this holiday coming up. I think it's next week, so a lot of the roads are closed off here. Anyways, probably shouldn't be drinking hot coffee during the heat of the day. It gets up to like 100 degrees here. I've had to use AC just to sleep. Anyways, not much to say it's really disheartening watching things in the U.S. and the economy slowing down quite a bit. I figure by 3 to 6 months we'll be in recession, like officially, for people who live there and do business. Things are slowing down a lot. I was talking to my mom, and at least in the Southwest, rents aren't coming down. They're actually still going up. I thought they would have come down already, but I was wrong about that. I haven't talked to my sister as far as what the rents are doing in the Midwest, but I imagine they're still going up. In fact, it's kind of funny. A lot of the rents are the same as a car payment, so your rent's going to be $1,000, and your car payment's going to be $1,000. So if you don't at least clear $2,000 after tax, you're going to be underwater. That's not even counting your food, utilities, and all that kind of stuff. It's just I marvel at how Americans can afford to live there anymore. I have kind of a big apartment, which is a little too big for me, but it's 1 bedroom, $250. Kind of in the country, but not really. Far enough in the country the internet sucks. Close enough you can walk. It's about 20 minutes to walk. I just take the tuk-tuks. And for me it's like 75 cents to $1.25 to go almost anywhere. And I was just thinking I don't know what a taxi would be in the States, but the cost of living is just so outrageous there. And then when we go into a recession, there's going to be a lot less people working. And it's not funny to think about. It's painful every time I go back there. There's more and more homeless people, especially where my mom lives and where my sisters live. There's kind of shockingly, for a small town, there's quite a bit of homeless. So I wonder what's going to happen in the upcoming elections. I'm not sure really things are going to get much better. Especially now, to me something's going on where with gold at $2,000 an ounce. I'm not sure what that's really signaling or saying, but there's either really bad inflation coming or really bad deflation coming. And from TLT and from gold, I think it's a deflation. Markets are presuming when the deflation comes, the Fed's really going to inflate the hell out of the money supply. I have no idea what's going to happen, but there's quite a few, well, not quite a few, there's market commentary, people comment on the markets, some of the more famous ones who are, I couldn't believe they were saying this in a public setting where if certain things happen, they're going to move their family out of the U.S. And these are pretty famous people and well known. The fact that they would say that publicly, that they're moving their family out of the U.S. was pretty shocking to me. These were more people who lean to the right. People who normally would say we're fighting to the death, staying in the U.S. It was quite shocking to me. On 2 occasions, I saw this lady say, "Well, if X, Y, and Z happens, I'm taking my family out." And she's in Texas, and her sons are in a military academy. That's the kind of upbringing they're having. So the fact that she would move the rest of her family out while they stay and do what they're going to do and build up a base in another country is quite shocking to me. Of course, it's pretty well known that all the digital nomads and retirees many can't afford to live in the U.S., or if they can have a higher standard of living by leaving. But to see the more established people publicly talking about moving their assets and their asses out of the country is very shocking. So that's about all I got for right now. I think it's going to get to the point where you're going to see more and more lower middle class people moving probably to Mexico and then Central America, and then the ones for whatever reasons don't like it there, they'll go to Asia. Right now, Asia's kind of cheap, not super expensive. It's not super cheap, but it's not really expensive. If I had to say, just as a generalization, Latin America's cheaper, but a lot less. It's just different. There's a lot less things to do unless you're talking Mexico. infrastructure is definitely better in Asia, in my opinion, than Latin America. Of course, Mexico is an exception to that, but Panama would be too, and Brazil. I'm impressed with how good the infrastructure here is in Cambodia. It's nothing like the Philippines 20 years ago. It's actually pretty good, despite a lot of the stuff you hear. But anyways, just watching things here in Asia, in the States, is quite interesting. In fact, one thing you notice is more and more expats are bringing their moms and dads out here to take care of them because it's so much more affordable and they can actually do it. They either can live off their pensions or earn a living and take care of their family out here. That's quite interesting that people are actually doing that. Anyways, that's it for now. I don't have much else to say. If anyone has something they want me to talk about, just leave it in the comments. Alright, like, share, subscribe. Thanks.